was a first grader, a teacher shattered my confidence and my intelligence for decades. I have an awful attention span, and as a child, it was even worse. Well, back in the 80s, the thing to do with a kid who couldn't pay attention was to label them as a mentally slow or a slow learner or a slow developer. No matter how you cut it, you were just slow, as they put it. I was placed in a special needs class, and my mother was told my IQ was probably very low. My grandmother laughed at this and fought the school. She told my mother I had learned to read at the age of 4 and could tell time and even write a little bit. My grandmother said, I know this child. He's not slow. He's very intelligent. But the school would not relent. Now, what had I done to give the school system this belief in my lack of intelligence? What did they see that my grandmother didn't? Well, it was 3 things. 1, my mind was always wandering. My thoughts were nomadic, never staying in one place very long, and so I couldn't pay attention. What my mother and the school system didn't know was that I was born to tell stories. I was a storyteller as a child, and I still am today. So often when I get bored, I retreat into my head and I begin narratives. Put me in a desk in a room and tell me not to move and listen to a teacher drone on like the teacher in the Charlie Brown cartoons where you can't understand what they have to say. And yeah, I'm going to stop paying attention. 2, they said I could only count to 10 when all the other kids in kindergarten could count well past this number into the high 50s and most to 100. I could count to 1,000, but I always skipped 11. Now, I don't know why I did this, but I did. And so the teacher stopped me every time I went from 10 to 12. And finally, she got frustrated and just said, you're the only little boy in this class that can only count to 10. And she marked me down as only being able to count to 10. She ignored the other 989 numbers that I could speak perfectly in a row. The third thing was I had terrible eyesight, and no one caught it at that age. It would be about 3 years before anyone found out that I couldn't see the chalkboard. And so I didn't know what was going on. And I was too scared to say anything about it because I was a small child. I was placed in remedial classes and offered tutoring, and I would not catch back up to my friends and other classmates until the 5th grade. All my early life, the school system treated me as if I were broken. But I wasn't broken. I just thought differently. Their negative thinking made me think negatively about my ability to think. And for years, I suffered from imposter syndrome in many of my chosen endeavors. People would tell me I was smart, but the children's playground chant of Michael's R word echoed in my mind for many years. And that's how I defined myself, as a slur. The thoughts of others can be like a curse upon us if we believe the lies they said about us. It would be many years before I would come to understand the power of believing what others think and feel about you, and how that can totally encapsulate you, surround you, seep into your bones and your blood, and make you into a caricature of what you really are, turn you into a puppet for external forces that make you dance and hop around to their tune. And you do so unconsciously, all the while wondering, what is wrong with me? I finally overcame my insecurity about my mental abilities when I learned to accept that I was enough, that I was smart enough, that I was capable enough, that I was more than enough for this world. And so are you. Write those words down. Put them somewhere you can read them every day. Say them over and over again in your head until you realize the truth of them. Whenever insecurities rise, say the words. Do you feel insecure about your intellectual abilities? What about your talents or performance in certain areas, such as academics, sports, or even work-related skills? Many people do. Remember, dealing with insecurities is a journey that takes time and patience. So be kind to yourself and remember that you're capable of positive change. There are people in this world stronger than you. There are people in this world smarter than you, more attractive than you are, more skilled than you are, more everything. But there's only one you in all the universe, in all of space and time. You are the only you that has ever existed. Let that settle down upon you. You are more than enough. Challenge all that negative self-talk in your mind. And when you catch yourself thinking negatively, ask yourself if these thoughts are based on facts or just irrational fears. Focus on your strengths. Try making a list of all your past achievements and skills you're proud of. Reflect on your previous successes that can give you confidence and help to counteract your dark thoughts. Set realistic goals for yourself. My favorite mental trick is to break down any task or goal I have into smaller ones. Make them into tiny, manageable steps and only think about one step at a time. This builds confidence as you gradually accomplish each one. Seek feedback from trusted sources. Reach out to mentors, teachers, or colleagues whose opinions you value. Sometimes a little external validation can help you gain a better perspective on your capabilities. Never stop learning or trying to improve in any area you feel insecure. And even embrace your failures as all part of the growing process. Remember that failure is just a natural part of learning. Instead of being discouraged by the setbacks, view them as opportunities. Learn from your mistakes and use them like stepping stones towards your success. Get rid of all your naysayers and all the negative influences that surround you. Be around people you believe in and who uplift you, people who encourage you and give good advice. And don't forget to celebrate your progress as you work towards overcoming your insecurities. Celebrate each small victory along the way and reward yourself. Before I leave, let me say there is nothing wrong with therapy. Seeking professional help, if needed, is a wise thing to do. If your insecurities are significantly impacting your life, it may be beneficial to seek guidance. And remember, you are not what other people think of you. You are what you think of yourself. Thanks. Have a wise day.